Okay, now you can see as you get more and more of the raw metal exposed, then it becomes easier to see exactly what you're doing because it's not so dark in there. That really helps a lot. So as you go along, you kind of get a better idea of what it is you need to do. Okay, the next area we're going to be focusing on is going to be the seats, the bowls. See, this one fits pretty well, but see on this side there's a little extra material there where the seat gets pressed into the head, and sometimes they don't fit quite right. Actually, they never fit quite right. And so if you don't make any adjustments there, you're always going to have a flow issue. So I'm going to remove the parts of the seat that stick out too far, and then in some cases I'll be removing part of the bowl or the throat of the port where it sticks out further than the seat. Just take off whatever it is that I need to make it all line up correctly. Okay, as I was cleaning up the seat area in the bowls, I came across something I hadn't seen before. You can see right here, see where it's all clean and shiny where I've been grinding away? See right behind it, it's still dark here. It actually gets smaller. It's like there's a choke point here that I've been working on, and then it gets larger just before the valve. Well, that's going to reduce your velocity. You want the valve to be the highest velocity area. You want the whole thing basically to be like a big funnel. That's you want it to get the choke point at the valve so that the velocity is very high there. You don't want to have a choke point and then have it open up again right before the valve, So there's an area that'll need addressing on this head right there. And that's kind of one of my points is as you start cleaning it up, then you can see the areas that need improvement, and that's one of them. Okay, so I finished lining up the seats with the throats, and you can see the dark area I had pointed out over, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right there. See the dark area? You can sometimes the tool can show you the low areas. You run the tool over something, the stuff that gets removed is obviously a high spot, and the stuff that's left is the low spot. And so, like I had mentioned, that's that area is larger than the previous area in the intake here, and I will be addressing that further, but that's all I'm going to take out with the carbide burr. You have to remember this is a liquid cooled cylinder head, and there's large water jackets, especially in older models. They had larger water cavities and the water ran a little slower. They've since made the cavities smaller and the water runs quicker and cools more efficiently. But yeah, if you accidentally cut into one of those water channels, it's sad times. We're going to throw this thing away, and we're going to owe somebody a lot of money. So you got to be careful with that. So the next bit I'm doing is going to be with less aggressive bits. Okay, our next tool of destruction is going to be what you call a cartridge roll or spiral roll. It's just basically sandpaper all wound up on a mandrel, and it's going to be a lot less aggressive than the carbide burr. Even though this is some pretty rough stuff, you're a lot safer with this than you are with the burr. Okay, now working the exhaust ports here, I found another discrepancy just like on the intake. Here, let me see if I can find it for you. See each one of these dark spots here. There's one little dark spot. That's a low spot. On the exhaust, we're not quite as worried about it because the exhaust is being pumped out under pressure. Sorry about the focus. It just can't seem to decide where it wants to be. Yeah, on the intake, we're trying to get the stuff to suck in as the piston draws down. On the exhaust side, it's being pushed out under pressure, so As long as there's no restrictions, that's what we're looking for in the exhaust. So I may or may not remove enough material to completely get rid of those little depressions, but they're not really hurting anything. If I have to remove a giant amount of material to get rid of them, I'll probably just minimize them and leave it at that.